This morning on today's checklist, we are focusing on a nutrient that is having a moment on social media. Fiber. According to the American Journal of Lifestyle Medicine, only 1 in 20 Americans are getting the recommended amount of fiber each day. So here to tell us how to safely add more to our diets, NBC News medical contributor Dr. Natalie Azar and Today nutrition and health expert Joy Bauer, a.k.a. Team Joydily.
I like it.
I don't. It's Joydily.
Like
we'll come up with something.
Name for y'all. I'm just
I know.
not sure
We're
that's it.
Jatalie.
Yeah, Jatalie? Oh, Jatalie, actually. I don't know. We haven't.
Okay.
Anyway, Dr. Natalie, let's start with you.
Okay.
Why is fiber having this moment right now?
Yeah, you know, I think if you ask some nutritionists, they might say that fiber just could be the most important thing. I think when we think of fiber, we think digestive tract and digestive system. And yes, it definitely keeps your digestive system really, really healthy. It also keeps your microbiome, right? That entire universe of bacteria that lives inside of us. And I want to plug a couple of times the idea that a high fiber diet can reduce the risk of certain cancers, particularly colorectal cancer. So when we talk about fiber, we basically divide it into soluble versus insoluble. This is how I want you to think of it. Anyone who's had kids, you know when you have to clean the inside of a bottle and there's like a brush on the outside?
Yes.
That's kind of what insoluble fiber is. So think of it as going through your digestive tract, and you can't digest fiber in general, and you're scraping the lining of your gut, and the inside of the fiber, think of like the inside of an apple, for example, is water soluble. So it expands kind of like a sponge and it creates bulk. So in terms of cardiovascular benefit, soluble helps to lower sugar and cholesterol. The insoluble fiber, as I mentioned, is really sort of like the thing that's kind of like scraping and cleaning the inside of your pipes.
Yeah, that was a really good way to put it.
Very interesting.
It is. It sounds almost painful, but it's not. Joy, the thing though is people are doing what's called Fibermaxxing, like really going all out with this. Tell us about that.
So Fibermaxxing is the hottest wellness trend right now, and it's basically exploded on social media. It's when people go above and beyond the dietary recommendations of getting in your fiber, and they take in way more in order to boost digestion, gut health, and satiety. So just to give this some context, regularly we are encouraged to eat between 25 and 38 grams of fiber per day. When you are Fibermaxxing, you're aiming for 40 to 75 grams of fiber per day.
How much is that really, like cups and size of something?
Well, it's a lot of fruits and vegetables and whole grains, lentils and legumes, and we're going to go over the amounts of fiber in a minute. But what they're also doing in some instances is they're using fiber-filled powders and supplements as well. And they're tracking their fiber like we used to track calories and protein. And I do have to say, and Natalie, you said this in the beginning, that while the trend has made it super sort of sexy right now, science has always known that fiber is fabulous.
Right. But Dr. Natalie, the Fibermaxxing, I mean, we're beating around the bush, but a lot of people do it, not everyone, but to lose weight.
Yes.
And so is Fibermaxxing a good thing, or is it detrimental to you?
So let's look at a checklist of the things that we know are really good about it and where you might need to be careful about having a high fiber diet. So we already mentioned it can decrease the risk of diabetes, heart disease, cancer, and it improves your digestive health, which is kind of code for saying it's great for constipation, right? We need to have that bulk to keep things moving smoothly. People who should be a little bit wary of having a high fiber diet, if you have active, let's say, inflammatory bowel disease, Crohn's or ulcerative colitis, or irritable bowel syndrome with diarrhea, you don't want to be adding more fiber to your diet. If you've just had abdominal surgery, we do not want to be adding fiber to people in those situations. And prepping for a colonoscopy, if you've ever had that done, you'll be told to stick to a low fiber diet. But it's hard to overdose on fiber. You will really excrete the rest, but you can certainly experience bloating and and excess gas and diarrhea from too much.
Joy, my son, everyone knows, has celiac disease, and it's every issue he has, he needs more fiber. He needs more fiber because he's not getting it out of the bread he eats. How do you get more fiber into your diet?
Right. So it's a great question because how you add fiber is honestly just as important as how much fiber you should be taking in. So the first thing is you have to incorporate it slowly. Give your body time to acclimate. I would say an extra 5 grams per week is a good place to start. Hydration is key because water is fiber's best friend. You need more water to move it along, so let it work its magic. Food first, always whole foods. So when you talk about like gluten-free options, options. All of the fruits and the vegetables and the lentils and the beans, they're naturally gluten-free, and they also bring vitamins and minerals and antioxidants. And be cautious with high-fiber packaged foods. This is really important because a lot of the low-carb foods these days, and also nutrition bars, they're cramming in a ton of fiber. Some have more than 20 grams per serving, and that could really cause a lot of abdominal distension and gas and cramping. So just read labels, and if you feel like your body reacts to something that you ate, you may be sensitive and just like be weary of it. Go easy. But you saw that long list of foods.
Yeah, this is a lot of options.
There's a lot of options on here, and these are just the best of the best. There are so many other options.
This is so great.
Yeah, learned
Dr.
so much,
Natalie, Joy,
Natalie.
thank you. For Joy's 3-day high-fiber meal plan, just go to today.com.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.